Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the start of Final Fantasy XIV Mobile, the actual start of the game. We know when you first, make your character and go through. I've already can tell from this being the first frame that there's a few things missing, like the hear, feel, think moment. But yeah, the Chinese beta is currently ongoing, and so there's a bunch of footage popping up online of the dungeons, the primals. I'm actually going to be using Arthur's footage. He did give me permission to kind of dissect and analyze and make whatever content I wanted to make out of his VOD checking out the mobile game. And so the start of the game, we'll just get to see the basics of how it begins. And then I know that he goes through a bunch of menus and we get an idea of some of the quality of life, of how some of the features work, things like inventory, glam, equipment vendors, social lists, and things like that. And we'll probably be going through different portions of the game. We'll take a look at the dungeons, we'll take a look at the trials, and we know there's some other stuff later on that he hasn't gotten to yet, so when he does get to it, we will do footage on that. Some of my videos this month, including this one, are going to have a sponsorship at the beginning. If I decide to cut the sponsor in for this one with Magic Spoon, then that's how I'm going to do it every time. It's cut and cut. That's how I got to do it. So if I included it, it's there. If not, then there's a weird thing where I just do that and you're like, why is he doing that? And that's fine. But anyway, yeah, we're going to just take a look at the start of the game real quick. We don't need really any of the audio on because, you're just going to be hearing Arthur's and, we can't read or understand any of it either. Start of the game is largely similar here, except for the fact that the La Habrea scene with Hear, Feel, Think appears to be missing. I can see Alphino and Alice are still in the back, and it looks like this little section here where we get stopped going into Ul'dah is still largely the same as well. There is one thing I do want to know. Okay, so while he's doing that.
Okay, they tell me to skip.
Okay.
Skip.
I think I wanted to hear if there was audio from. Oh, I went too far back. I wanted to see if there's any audio coming from the NPCs or if that part itself is not. Okay, yeah. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay. So yeah, so it looks like they have some unvoiced scenes here as well. So it's not going to be everything fully voiced. We know there are voice scenes, but it looks like for some of this less important, well, I say less important, it's the start of the game. For some of these kind of introductory scenes, it looks like they are largely keeping the voice acting out of it for the time being. Then it's introducing Ul'dah. It goes into the start of the city. Largely a recreation of our starting scene. You get called over by the new player guy. And now we are in game. So he decided to start as a thaumaturge. You can see the main story quest in the top left. You can see the minimap. He's covering it with his guinea pig thing in the top right. But you can see the Ethernet tries to leave. NPC's like, no, exactly the same as it works in the rest of the game. So you probably won't be able to do pretty much anything until actually leaving. Right now, he's just getting used to the controls, it looks like, more than anything, and he's already getting friend requests. That pop-up on the right-hand side is the friend request pop-up, which I actually quite like. Very easy and convenient to understand. It gives you a limited time to respond to it. So I assume it just goes away if you don't respond to it in time, which, he's like, oh, we hate that guy. Little tutorial pop-up at the bottom. The character also has just their name. There's no surname or anything like that, so you can just name your character what you want. I could just be Mr. Happy, MRHAPPY, if I want to. And there was a quick tutorial popping up for the sprint button in the bottom right. You can see the quest marker pointing with an actual arrow. I wonder if that's just the actual quest. Oh, and also it looked like he had a quest tracking option there. So if you click something, look, it gives you a little quest tracking option with that pop-up, or at least that's what it looks like that is. That's not another player effect because he doesn't have any other players. This section doesn't have any other players. So yeah, you can see it pinging on the map when he looks like he can select it on the map and you can see it pinging briefly. It might do it automatically too, because I actually don't think he's clicking anything, but the pace at which it's doing it is a little inconsistent. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. The pinging on the minimap is not entirely consistent either. Although it looks like it's telling him to hurry up at this point. Because now it's just pulsing nonstop. So we've got that. He's just messing around with the camera, getting a good view. Yeah, you can see the actual line that's following all the way through. Yep, he's just getting used to the camera controls. I believe that's just... this is like the emulator chat that he's using. Because he's using an emulator. He's using Mimu, I believe it is, or Memu. in order to play, as opposed to playing on his phone. Which I guess consider this also the beta test of it working on emulators, which is what everyone's other question. Hey, here's a mobile game. How do I play it on my PC? One of the first questions we got. We can see a Hall of the Novice right there. All the other NPCs in their usual spots, Momoti, waiting for us as we take a few steps forward. But so far, fairly concise. Looks like, oh wow, the mini map is, I'm sorry, the world map is animated. Look, you can see the whale that represents Bismarck kind of moving around in the clouds right there. And again, you can see the lightning of Garlemald. That's actually really nice. See the dragons and the ships. All of the little pieces are animated to the world map that we're used to seeing. Yeah, look, you can see the boats appearing and disappearing, seagulls. So a lot of motion, a lot of attention to detail on the world map itself. Definitely brings a lot of life to the game. That's definitely one of those things that we look at and go, wow, you know, that's, like, would it keep me subbed longer technically to have that? No. Is it a really nifty and neat detail? Absolutely. So it looks like you can, from this menu, also pull up quests. He pulled up his main scenario quest. Looks like this is the Aetheryte list for teleporting between everything. If it has a star next to it, I'm assuming that means you've actually attuned to the Aetheryte itself. So it's just a bunch of fast travel options. You can see the various city-states that are all present here. Not sure what this is. However, as bad of an idea as it was last time, I think we hit up the Google Lens that did not work so well in the previous one. And it looks like it's tagging characters. So you can choose to display all duties or just main story missions. And you can also choose what other duty options and characters that you can display. So it's just some display options, basically, for the duty list. And for other players as well. Looks like it's just a filter for generally what you'll be seeing and what you'll be dealing with. I also noticed that his action bar, when he actually is in combat mode, oh wow, and then that's like the actual like map of the zone around. You can see what level everything is unlocked. So you can see he'll learn this at 5, this at 10, 18, 12, 15, 50, and then there's more skills on top of that. But yeah, you've also got just kind of a permanent visual representation of when you'll actually learn all of your various abilities. So that's a nice little thing to have seen. Yeah, he backs in and out of this like 3 or 4 times trying to figure out what he's doing. And then you get, oh, that was actually a pretty decent look at the mini map. I mean, the map, you know, you can see all the icons and you can see the Ethernets and everything. So yeah, he's swapping between like there's, you know, town mode and combat mode. So like now he just has, you know, sprint basically enabled. He just has like the basic movement stuff as he tries to figure out all the options. You can't see his face, but he's stupefied right now. He's just like, and I've been there. I feel that. Yeah. So again, you can see the map options right there. If I could stop accidentally, Twitch, stop trying to ask me if I want to knock on people's things on their streams. Yep, vendors, mail, all the usual icons we're used to seeing, Grand Company stuff, you know, the different zones, towns, Ethernets, Aetheryte, yeah, all that. I mean, what else are they the same? That's Ul'dah. You also have the filter at the top for the different areas inside of each region, so not too dissimilar from what we have right now. You can choose to place a flag down, it looks like, as well. We saw a flag that he could put on the quest, for example. It's interesting that clicking the Black Mage button in town opens this. So yeah, you can see with his click, he can actually put a flag down. Similar to our flag function now, you can choose to put a flag down on the map for you and probably to share to your other teammates as well. And then, yeah, he's just looking at the chat again. He's messing with his options in the emulator itself, just trying to get everything right. Messing around. He's also key binding, like, so you can see because he's using an emulator, he was key binding like the movement and other things. So like he's making sure that he actually has like, yeah, there's the WASD that he can put down. That's something that you can do on the emulator as well. So now WASD acts as the movement. So that's just something that if you use an emulator for a while, you know that you can do things like that, program certain parts of the screen to work that way for those who don't plan on actually playing as it. He's just talking to some NPCs and then gets a tutorial about the main scenario quest pop up over the NPC's head and about Momoti. He skips the cutscene, gets to level 2, and then it does the mini-map, which he'll probably get rid of the guinea pigs for in a second. yeah, this is just the introductory quest. It's teaching him what the... so it looks like when there's multiple icons on top of each other as well, it gives you a pop-up. You can see right there, very briefly, that he had a pop-up that said, oh, are you trying to click on the Ethernet or are you trying to click on the quest? So that's another bit. I think this is the quest to go attune to the Ethernet anyway. There's the Etherite, the Ethernet, and or to just attune to any of them, I'd assume. You can also flag it, it looks like. Yeah, you can choose to flag it so that it's trackable with that option right there. So that will deflag it so you won't, you know, it won't show in your tracking, or you can choose to flag it so it'll actually show in the tracking. The same type of tracking he had that was leading him over to a Momoti Modi. And then I think that's just the friend request pop-up that he's accepting. He's going into the friend request now, or the friends list now, which is a pretty nice looking friends list. To no one's surprise. He had to draw attention. This guy's level 20 already? Listen, man, you weren't playing for like 3 hours, dude. Come on, man. We could get to level 20 in 3 hours, easy. These are achievements. Those were his pop-ups for achievements. So let's go to that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. We've got a lot to dissect. I've actually seen a screenshot of all of those things dissected. Let me go to this. So we've got a lot. I mean, I could see a gathering log. I could see a fishing log. I could see a crafting log. I can see the market board. I could see inventory. I can see glam. I mean, you can actually figure out what most of this stuff even is without even looking at it. You have the toy chest even, it looks like. Achievements. And then a handful of other things. Obviously, the Google Lens is not going to be great. Treasure maps. You can see a new player guide. Yeah, marketplace. The actual vendors, the exchange, collection. Wow, there's actually a lot. Quite a lot. I can't see all of them. There's also your mounts right next to your inventory as well. So he goes into the achievement menu, which looks quite nice. I'm not, like, crazy about it one way or the other, but I definitely can appreciate the way that the achievement list actually looks there. Keeps getting all the friend requests, so you can see those in the middle as well. Looked like there was a gold saucer button as well. So what did he just click? I want to know what he just clicked. I think he clicked marketplace. No, he clicked the vendor option. So from what I understand, these are all of the vendors around the world, and you can search through them for their various items, and you don't actually have to go to them in town. So like these are like level 1 weapons that are like 10 gil a piece. You know, that's the starting sword and shield. You know, these are a little bit higher level. These are level 5 items instead of level 1. So you can see the levels on the left-hand side. That just represents the level of the item. So as you level up, if you have the gil, you just go in and purchase an upgrade. Obviously, there's dungeon loot and everything that's going to be more desirable, but if you just need something in a pinch, those are specifically weapons. Looks like the second one, you can see the one on the top right is probably armor. And these are vendors that he doesn't have unlocked yet. You can see tomestones here. Looks like you can buy materia with tomestones. So he has some tomestone vendors. So yeah, materia for tomes and the stone for tomes. Is that a relic item? Those are the capped tomes, it looks like, which are locked at the moment. But you have, it looks like bicolor gemstones on the left. Yeah, that's bicolor gemstones right there. So these are all sorts of various things you can buy. You can see like the skull eye patch, pretty much all glam. Even the wind up sun was one of the things that was on there. And there's also bicolor gemstone vouchers, which are 10,000 a piece. You can see you can use 3. In fact, wait, are they 10,000 a piece? So some of these items cost bicolor gemstones. Some of them cost tokens. Yeah. So the tokens are 10,000 bicolor gemstones a piece. We're going to assume the actual acquisition rate is higher than it is in the main game, obviously. And some of them were like 2 vouchers. Some of them were like 3,000. So if it's less than 10,000, it's going to cost gemstones. If it's 10,000 or more, it'll be bicolor gemstone vouchers. But then you could also see there was poetics and looked like mythology and philosophy. I think those were the 3 that we saw tombstone-wise there. I think this is, and then this is the actual market board, but there's no listings on the market. So it's just as zeros across the board because none are being sold, I'd assume at the moment. You can see crystals, you can see food, potions. So this is just the market board and going through everything that we have right now. I also got to scroll up. I just realized that the top was a little messed up there briefly. Yeah, so we can see all of those various options. So the market board, yeah, it's very quick. That looks like, okay, so that's a feature that unlocks at level 10. It also, when you click on the things that are locked, it tells you when they will be unlocked. So it looked like the gold saucer was unlocked at level 10. This is Glam. So effectively, you just click on the slot. You check to see if you have the piece that you're glamming over. And if you have it unlocked, then you just, yeah, the Glam system's, to no one's surprise, the Glam system is better. Effectively previewing Glams right now with the various item IDs that are present in the game. Yep. As expected, the Glam system is much, much easier. You can preview everything, even if you don't own it. It just tells you that you don't own it and that you need that item in order to properly glam it. Don't have to go to an inn. Don't have to go to your glamour dresser. At the very least, that's how it's appearing right now. And then you can choose which pieces will be on or locked with the preview. You can turn your hat on and off. You can choose to turn your weapon on and off. You know, our usual options. Your rings, your everything, your left hand, your right hand. Yep. That's a Glam system, all right. Sure is. To nobody's surprise. To absolute... I mean, no, and honestly, nobody should be surprised by this. Absolutely nobody should be surprised. Oh, look, somebody's disconnecting. Hey, we now know that the red dot is also in the game. Because I saw somebody disconnecting in the back. Look, there, they're disconnecting. There's somebody disconnecting on the right also. Then this is new player tips. Any tutorials that you've seen pop up will then be added to the new player guide here on the right. Inventory. So your inventory by default is 300 slots. It seems to include your gear, though. And you can spend 15,000 gil or use what looks to be an item expansion token to increase your inventory by 20. Like I said, I'm fairly certain this includes... Well, I mean, maybe it doesn't include equipment because he should be wearing his base gear, and that's not counted as part of the 300. So, yeah, there's that. So 300 by default, and it has to have one of those two items. The item expansion token or the gil. We don't know if every expansion is 15,000 gil or just the first expansion is 15,000 gil. But then there's other items you can... Oh, no, that item also costs 15,000 gil is what it is. So you buy that item for 15,000 gil. You have Glamour prisms. Looks like those are dyes, if I'm not mistaken. All those different colored objects, I'm pretty sure, are dyes. And then that looked like a bicolored gemstone voucher. He's still getting all the friend requests. What is that a voucher for? Hold on, let me see. Because that looks like a bicolored gemstone voucher, but I don't think it is. Let me just check real quick. Oh, this is the quest item. This is the introduction to Momoti. This is just a key item. Okay. That explains because it's still 0 out of 300 for his inventory. Because you can actually sort by the item type on the left. And then those are those not, is that where the key items are supposed to be? Or maybe that's the mail. Key items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or maybe those are the individual bag slots then. No, those look like here, let me go back and check that real quick. I just want to read what it says these are. Because I figured that on the right would be key items. Warehouse. So yeah, they're like side bags? Warehouse. Yeah, it's just like storage. I think it's like the equivalent to your retainer storage. And then you can buy more, it looks like, after the 5th one. Looks like it's 5 storage, 30 items a piece, and then you can purchase more. Which I'd assume comes with a, monetization cost. If I were him, I would click it, because I would like to see that. Click it. Click it. Oh, well, he doesn't have any of them unlocked other than the first one, but... Okay, he clicked it, and I think it told him he can't do it yet. Yeah, I wouldn't let him do it just yet. I think it says it's a coming later feature. Yeah, because you have to click the housing item to go and see your storage. All right. So, yeah, Mount Hill unlock at level 5. Minions unlocks at some point later. That's your Chocobo fighting with you, I think, at level 30. So that's like the ability to have your Chocobo fight alongside you in the world. And then this is another... What the heck is that? Was that the... What option did he just select? He selected the book. And it's got fish. It's got combat stuff. It looks like just a log of everything that you... Oh, it's a collections log. Okay, these are triple triad cards. That was a mount collection, minion collection. Yeah, that's what it is. This is a collection log. It's everything you've collected. Okay. Hunting logs as well. These are, there's a percentage on the left. And it looks like upon completing a certain amount, you get vouchers, bicolor gemstones, gil. For completion's sake. So yeah, you'll want to probably complete through all of these by killing at least one of every enemy. Oh. Sorry, I had to swap legs. And then it looks like each different one has its own collection rewards. I assume this is a bicolor gemstone voucher. Time to check. Real quick. No, it's a map. Okay. So by doing the first few of them, that's how you get your map for each zone. Interesting. Yeah, because this is a map of Mordona, I believe it says. Oh, it's a riding, right. It's a riding map. This is for mount speed. So yeah, you'll get mount speed with this. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, this is a riding map. Dude, I honestly forgot about riding maps. I haven't purchased one of those in so long because they're useless. When am I ever on the ground? Like, by the time it would take me to get it, I can fly by then. I don't even need it. Yeah, but so it's the riding map, it looks like, for completing the first few. You only need to kill a couple in order to get that first bit. And yeah, he would have to unlock fishing and everything else here. This is the song collection in the Orchestrion, which you can access anywhere. I can't help but notice. I don't know if it'll work anywhere in terms of like where you can play the music. I'd assume you can preview it anywhere at the very least. And it also tells you where to collect it in the top right as well. Yeah, mount collection, song collection, minion collection. Yeah, I mean, these are just all collection menus to everything. Not much more to take away from that. Needs level 15 in order to unlock that. Yeah, gathering, fishing, all this stuff. What's this? And then this is just like account information. This is just like his settings and everything. I mean, I guess I could quickly try to translate the settings of everything here. Yeah. Movement methods and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, these are your settings. He's circling that one. Why is he circling that one? That's the one that won't translate for some reason. Yeah, these are all. I mean, what do we really need to go through with these settings? Automatic movement selection, target border highlighting, indicator lines turning on. Yeah, it's all the stuff that we already have. These are all the volume settings and everything. What are these? Sorry, I keep hitting the microphone because I'm trying to be fast. The new player guide pop-ups, getting rid of them. I think these in general are getting rid of pop-ups. It's not translating some of the stuff. Target markers, scenery. Let's see. Sometimes I have to reset it. Scenery markings. Yeah, so this is that's like the immersion settings. It seems like like pop-ups teaching you about like certain things. Bro, I can't get a good angle for this. Self, small, first, others. These are more filters. It looks like. It looks like this is how long the names are. There's also the frame limit at the top. Oh, combat effects. Combat effects and frame limit is what that one was. Shadow qualities, sticker qualities, branch rates. Yeah, these are all like graphics related stuff, graphics and performance related things that he's going through right here. So just a whole bunch of options, depending on how good or bad your phone is, I suppose, or in this case, your emulator, or in this case, your computer, since emulators are massive resource hogs. But these are options you'll have on your phone, obviously. It's completely irrelevant that he's on an emulator at the moment. And then we have a few more options here. These look like accessibility options. No, actually, these are casual options, I see. Like always show head equipment, automatically change your posture while idling. Come on. Come on. Self-adjustable head equipment, weapon delayed when collecting weapons. And then we've got a few gauges right here. What do these do? It's because when he's clicking through, it like changes it. Oh, these are colors for friends versus team members versus random players. So those are display names. English. These are languages. Yo, download English. Those are voices. And also the download sizes for each voices. And one of those is text, one of those is voices, I have to assume. But either way, download it. A lot of people disconnecting. And he's still getting those pop-ups automatically. That's kind of annoying, so I'll probably turn that off, to be honest. Yeah, it was language and voices. But either way, the download of the download one is voices. Oh, hey, what's up? This is the Moogle Mail. Gift records, letters from other players at the top. Nothing in his mailbox is what it says in the middle of the screen. Of course, you can hold up to 100 system mails. Yeah, and then obviously, and then a currently free gift list. Gifts received. Okay. So there's gifts, and then there's the actual system records and everything like that. I like the Moogle and its animation there as well. So we're getting a pretty good look at all the basic quality of life related stuff with this one. We're also seeing how many people are disconnecting. Somebody's AFK, a bunch of... Bro, it's just like NA last night. There's either a bunch of people AFKing in town or everyone's disconnecting. That's like my average night with DDoS attacks. And these are emotes that he's going through right now. So he pulled up the emote list. Little pop-up overhead. These are just... That's his chat log, it looks like. And then these are the filters for his chat log, yeah. That is... Newcomer. Oh, that's the novice, the novice, whatever it's called, novice network. Those are the one of those was Grand Company chat. Did I see that correctly? Was that Grand Company chat? So there's Say Chat, Grand Company chat, novice network. These are all the different networks that you can have, that you can show. Area chat as well, also there. So those are just all the different chat windows that you can access at any given point. Wait, he turned off the quest tracking and then did it just turn itself? No, okay, I don't think it, yeah, it did. Did it just turn itself back on a second later? Somebody has the role-playing tag on right there. So he's attuning to the Ethernet, gives him a little tutorial pop-up. And then it wants him to go over to the other one. That's to the Etherite itself. So it's just a similar introductory quest that we have here. Overall, though, really, really clean. I'm really impressed with what the team at Lightspeed has put together for this. It looks really good. It's pretty, even with the language barrier, because of the familiarity to 14, it's pretty simple to understand. A lot of icons that help with the visual clarity of stuff. Those are friend requests on the top right as well. It has little things like the path follow. The Glam system, of course, is going to be much more modern. The job preview and the character creator in my other video was actually really, really impressive as well. Really glad that they had that. We definitely could use that as well. And while we have a lot of menus we don't see, there's certainly a lot of style and fun that's put into them. Pretty good even for a mobile game in terms of immersion, oddly enough, to have all of those separate functions. It's also nice that the pop-ups here, oh my goodness, he's recording a voice chat. He just recorded a, you can record a voice chat and send and then send it. Oh my goodness, voice clips. Yeah, so something I had missed in the gameplay preview that I looked at prior is that you can actually use voice chat in duties. You can choose to enable or disable voice chat, and you also can apparently send voice clips into chat itself. You can record voice notes and everything. Yeah, voice and speech to text at the same time. Yeah, this is, oh, so it has a maximum time of 20 seconds, and he was testing right there to see how accurate it was. And he seemed impressed by how accurate it actually was with the text-to-speech. There's proximity-related voice chats. Yeah, and then he can play it back. And he can hear it. And yeah, you can't see him, but he's freaking out that it actually even has these options. Yeah, it just plays it back. Just plays it back immediately. So, that's also another impressive bit. I'm just seeing a lot of really, really impressive bits. Yo, Zeno, your DPS is really low, man. Can you please turn off your DPS STS? And then somebody else replied, ha 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 ha. Or ha ha. I like that the text-to-speech did Xeno with the Z instead of the X, but, you know, that's not really much of a surprise. And then this allows you to share items in chat. Looks like you can link. This is the ability to, like, link things in chat, like auto-translates and whatnot. And then we have his actual account stuff. Yeah, this is all of his account information, basically his profile card, in a sense, similar to what the lodestone would display. And then he's just going through a handful of different options. Like, he's just looking at, like, a random friend. Like, this is going to have the usual, like, friend options. You know, like, send a message. So clicking on a friend opens up an individual chat window with each of those individual friends, which also is a vast improvement over what we have, you know. Those are different sorting methods in the top right. And then he just, then, you know, it's a matter of how many new notifications he has, etc., etc. That's also a very impressive. Obviously, this is much more intrusive in terms of actually having a conversation. You know, it's not like when I'm in the middle of something and I just, like, see my chat in the bottom left and I just go, oh, whatever. But I mean, in terms of a communication method that's not too dissimilar to how we use Discord. That's him receiving a party invite, by the way. He declined it. It's very, I'd say it's very well thought out and very well done. I think here in the States, we'd probably still opt into using Discord because it's so uniform. It's just uniform. Everyone uses it. But for an in-game function, that's pretty well put together. I gotta say, it has the different objectives in the top left for what he still has remaining, by the way. I did notice that. It has his party options over there on the left. Obviously, there's the quest objective here. All the people with the sprout icons. Quick tutorial on Aetherites. And yeah, this is Arthur's mage. This person's so mad. Oh no, it's Honeybee. You don't want Honeybee to be mad at you. Why is Honeybee so short? That's not Honeybee. Imposter. And there's him recording audio for them back in return. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, no, this is really, really, really good. It's impressive. I think a lot of people are going to be... Two things. One, they're going to be... Okay, here we go. First, people are actually going to be rather impressed by what is put together here. That's then going to be followed by being mad because some things are clearly better in some ways than the PC version, or at least adapted in such a way that are incredibly intuitive. And C, they are now going to admit that they're playing it. The load time there was pretty good too. That's the first time I've seen him go between a zone line with the little load screen at the bottom. Yeah, you can see that. You can see all the quests for unlocking the Crafters Gatherers. So, you know, that's all stuff that we recognize as long-term players. So quite a lot of basic quality of life. This is just him going up to the NPC to do the quests. And then he gives him Momoti's note. So Momoti's note to progress the quest. And then he skips around and then goes back. Oh, so when he clicked on that player by accident, it looks like, yeah, he pulled up their adventure plate. Which, am I bugging or were they not in it? Yeah. Yeah, that's a plate. There's just nobody in it. Maybe they have to actually modify it before they'll actually show in the plate itself. I want to see if he gets to doing anything with adventure plates here if he waited until way later. Yeah, walking around the world. Look, I mean, that's outside Ul'dah. Ain't no denying that. Look, somebody's fighting the turtle. He's just going through some settings again to see if there's anything he wants to change. It's almost at 60 FPS. It's pretty good for an emulator. He reset his... By the way, that's his background. The one that you briefly saw there. That's been his background for God knows how long. Arthur's is a person of a very particular taste, and that particular taste is all the tastes. It's apparently every sweet imaginable. Yeah, just running around doing quests. See his gauge, his auto attacks. So this is more so to see game. He's literally just running around doing auto attacks, which you can do as Black Mage. That is worth mentioning. Obviously, he needs to stand still to actually cast his longer spells like Fire 3 and Blizzard 3, which, by the way, he had at level 1. No Fire 1, Fire 2, like Blizzard 1, Blizzard 2 shenanigans. But if he needs to move, on top of having certain buttons that allow him to move, you can, as a black mage, just do your auto attacks, which is just the big button in the middle of your bar over there on the right. So you see he clicked it, he went into combat mode, and now, you know, if he clicks it again, it does the attack. And then if he really wants to, he can cast a spell. And again, you can see all the different spells. You can also see that Umbral Ice is lasting, it looked like it had 18 seconds there briefly. So he had 12, and then he cast Blizzard 3 here. It had 20 seconds. All right. Yeah, so it looks like 20 seconds. Although, oh, was it just not showing it until he entered combat mode again? Oh, yeah. It's just the remaining time. I was like, oh, why did it pop up with only 12? It's because it hides it even there. So, it was still counting down in the background, basically. But the job gauge was just not visible because he wasn't in combat mode, it looks like. Then running around, just doing quests, handful of other people, just doing quest objectives, nothing really to take away from any of this. He learned a new ability. It pops up in the middle of his screen right there. The button becomes active on the right-hand side. He just fried that thing instantly. Just has a little bit of a cooldown on it. And, yeah, I think that's enough for one video. I think we kind of have the gist of things. Also getting to see, like, Black Mage being able to cast while moving, specifically with their auto attacks. He's messing around with Memu a little bit here. Also, I mean, again, it's probably a good thing that people are seeing that at the very least Memu seems to run the game quite well. I wonder if that, like, Google Play app thing will work, you know? Square's never been a big fan of emulators, so I'm surprised it's working so well. We've seen, like, there's a pretty big track record with the mobile games that aren't made by Square firsthand, technically, so maybe it's less of a problem with them and more problems with the companies that have had licensed stuff with Square. So, yeah, it might not be Square. It might just be whatever companies they were licensing to do their other mobile games. Like, it feels like it's just a disaster, like, most of the time. Which means BlueStacks will probably work pretty well also for people looking to play it on PC. But this is really clean. I've seen mobile games that are way less intensive run way worse on things like Memu and BlueStacks before. So this is actually going pretty well. And, yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm just watching him play Final Fantasy XIV. That's just a pop-up, I think. That was something maintenance-related for the game. And now he's just running around killing stuff. Got to do his hunting logs. Got to do his quests. Looks like he's just doing all the main story quests. Like, he can just run past enemies and just, like, nuke them into the ground briefly. Just instantly with a thunder spell. Oh, it's a survey. Right. Yeah, there's probably going to be surveys for feedback. Oh, and then he's got a solo duty right here. Yeah. Gotta protect her. This is the one where Thancred joins in. And Thancred joins in pretty much immediately. Let's see how fast this goes. Yeah, so he's just gonna do 3 fires and then probably yeah, he should go ice. Go ice. Yeah, then goes ice, and then now he can either do does going ice again? No, so once you're in ice. No. Yeah, it looks like ice just generates your MP back really quick. It just generates it back in a way that's very unusual to 14 players. So yeah, just the mana tick is like every like half a second. So it's like 1, 2. Yeah, it's like every half a second getting mana back. At a rate of what looks to be like 470 a tick. It looks like his basic attacks are also generating MP because he starts generating at a very unusual rate. It's very inconsistent. It could just be that the rate of it is very inconsistent. I actually think that's all it is. I think just the actual rate of the MP coming back is not like a flat number. It's like a set amount per second or like a set range. Because he's definitely not gaining back then a very exact amount there. Yeah, because you see that he does that. And even when he's not doing anything else, sometimes it's just a little bit more or a little bit less than the time before. Text on the screen popping up, all that stuff. Load screens are going really quick. Overall, though, I mean, I'm genuinely impressed. Like, this might be the most robust. I mean, to be fair, I haven't kept up with the way mobile games have gone. Obviously, you still have stuff like Genshin and you know, the other Hoyoverse games where those are technically mobile games, but honestly, every time I've seen them on mobile, anything other than Star Rail or like Third Impact on mobile, I don't know, just it hasn't. I haven't liked it. So this is like, for something that's not that, like this is really like, this is Final Fantasy 14. Like, it's really impressive that what they've got here so far. Obviously, we still have some questions about monetization. It looked like you could purchase those warehouse spaces, those storage spaces. We know that there is a monthly premium sub that's optional. Apparently, the market board by default has 12 sale slots, and you can choose to pay a monthly premium to double that. I don't know if that's just for the market board or if that's like it's like an optional premium sub. Like a lot of games do that, free to play with an optional premium sub. I mean, that's like every mobile game nowadays. Every free to play game practically has some sort of equivalent to that. But yeah, it's like a monthly pass. You pay a monthly sub for it. Yeah, that's going to be the thing, because we know there's no gacha. For those who haven't kept up, there's no gacha or anything like that. And they said that their monetization strategy is very specifically slow and steady income, slow and sustainable income, and not like make money quick kind of monetization. So like no stamina systems, or at least it appears like no, maybe there's like a dungeon limit or something later. I don't know. We haven't seen that yet. But that would be in line. I mean, just having basic functions that emulate a monthly subscription without demanding a monthly subscription. Basic things like paying for more storage, which is a pretty normal thing. But I mean, most of the basic systems that would require, that you would expect to be thrown in your face already. Like he hasn't been asked to do a 10 pull. Hey, here's your first free 10 pull. Now get addicted. But it's still question marks. You know, there's no one's going to give benefit of the doubt. No one's going to accept it until we see the finished product. And we know that monetization is part of the beta, in that they're not the final plans for monetization. It's what they're going to do, they're putting in there, and they want feedback on said systems. So that means that anything we even we do see here could change. Maybe the market board stuff is like 18 slots down to and 6 instead of 12 and 12. Or maybe they deem that the monthly pass isn't valuable enough and needs that. Like that. No, again, there's just going to be no benefit of the doubt. Like no one's going to be like, oh yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't do that. No, of course they wouldn't. It's a mobile game. Like it doesn't matter what anyone says. What any company or dev says, no matter the track record, is irrelevant until the final product. That's true. That should be true in general, but it's more true in mobile games. So this is the NPC just teaching. This is the NPC that demands that you wear level 5 stuff for the MSQ. So this is the tutorial showing him the vendors where he can instantly buy the level 5 gear. There's also, of course, housing, which we know that everybody's going to have a house option, or at least it's implied that everyone will have a house option. I can't say for certain that's what it will be. When he buys something, it pops up on the right-hand side with an equip now option. That's what's happening on the right-hand side. Kind of annoying that it's a timed pop-up and is separate from the menu itself. Why wouldn't that just pop up at the bottom here? Why wouldn't it just say equip now at the bottom? And it's yes or no. Why would it be a separate pop-up on the right-hand side? So that's a little strange, I suppose. Not that big of a deal, but, you know, that's the quest rewards he just got. So he got a few armor sets. Closing the notifications in that particular case. Might just be him closing the notification. No, because he completed the quest, so he was just equipping them. Maybe it was not equipping them right away. Those are like new item indicators. These are... Yeah, it did. It equipped everything. Looks like 10 defense. Oh, no, these are level 10 pieces. It looks like... Wait, is he already level 10? Because I thought that's... Oh, no. That is the, like, defense or whatever stat. Because there's no way, because his level 1 armor said 5 next to it. That's normally level 1, though. Yeah, that's the level at the time. No, it is 5 and 10. Interesting. I wonder if the beta just started him at 5 in the first quest, then. Because it's just a little strange. Because I feel like he was just... Hold on. It's item level. I'm fucking stupid. It's a level 1 item with an item level of 5 and a level 5 item with an item level of 10. Idiot. Anyway. Oh, and then we have... Oh, these are previews for unlocking other jobs. It's telling him, you know, Conjurer, Scott. Like, this is him directing him how to unlock the other jobs. And also doing a job preview in-game, which is also really cool. So, like, anything you don't have unlocked, you can preview it there and decide, oh, do I want to go unlock that? And yes, job stones are at level 15. It said that in the character creator too. So you have a side quest and a main quest. The pulsing of the main quest is a little weird. I would like you to stop pulsing, main quest. Please stop pulsing. And then he's going over here. Yeah, I mean, this at this point, it's just not much else to really say. Oh, yeah, do the fate. Oh, it's dead. Never mind. Fate joined. Fate ended. Yeah, that fate gets massacred, so that's no surprise. That's the spiked butt guy. Mr. Spiked Butt. Something of the spiked butt. Quest rewards. More Aetherites. Yeah, the map. The fog of war of the map, since this map isn't entirely unveiled, you actually have to walk across the map in order for your local map to be properly unveiled. It otherwise has like a basic fog of war until you've unveiled all the areas. And not unlike our old maps, but for a while now, we've had the kind of like auto reveal for a lot of the old maps. So it's a little strange seeing that again, but it's just been a little while. You know, I haven't really had to think about that other than like on expansion launch. And a Realm Reborn areas are instant now, so it's nice. You zone in and you just get the full EXP. I wonder if he's getting exploration EXP. I didn't notice. I didn't really notice. I wasn't paying attention for it. Yep, and then you can see the quest and the tracking. Another. So, oh, this is the golem. Yeah, you got to do 3. Oh, okay. So we have our first kind of visual bug with the beta. So hopefully this is feedback related. This hits home for me because this reminds me of Fru already. The AoE is under the water. You can see that it's kind of like on the right-hand side right here. The golem's AoE is under the water. Fru had a bug that just got fixed for that, where like AoEs would get obscured under another effect. But it's just funny seeing that. I noticed it immediately. That's the conal attack. He got out of it still, but the water seems to be obscuring it to some capacity. I wonder if it's better to spam Blizzard, or if it's when you need mana, or if you'd rather spam the auto attack, just so you don't run out of, because you're making it take longer to get back to fire by spamming Blizzard. So I'd assume that you realistically want... he doesn't have any of his roll actions. You realistically want to... he's trying to die. Oh, he's testing the server tick. Okay, so that's actually a really good test to see what the latency is like for getting caught in AoE. So he tries to move out of it at the very last second. I will say this. Something else to notice is the cast bar innately goes with the animation. So watch, as the cast bar is almost done right here, the boss is doing the animation. It's not doing the cast bar and then doing the animation. The AoE goes away when the cast bar finishes, and there's no question, but the animation is made so that the animation will also finish by the time the cast. This is something a lot of people have said that Square should probably get used to doing more of, because it has a lot more visual clarity to it, but our game has never really gone that way. So if you are hit by an AoE, you very much deserve it in 14 mobile, because there's no confusion about the separation between the animation and the actual damage. The AoE also disappears instantly. It doesn't fade away gradually. So there's also no confusion about when the quote snapshot, not really a snapshot, would happen in this particular case. And it looks like our hitbox is also still just a frame as well. Yeah, it's running around. Who needs Scathe when you could just do that? Brave. Still, got it. Yeah, pretty straightforward. That gave us a good little peek at some of the quality of life. I thought the Spriggan was disconnecting for a second, not the person in the distance. Yep, you've got the Chocobo points. He's flagging that. He's teleporting back to that. Ooh, what was that? Ah, so the Chocobo Porter can take you directly to quests. Ah, the Chocobo Porter acts as a mount that takes you to the quests now. That's also a very nice piece of quality of life. Look at that, yeah, and then it just automatically paths. Yep, and there you go. It's like, hey, you're here. Get off, loser. there's a lot of decent quality of life here. There's a lot of very good quality of life. All right, we're going to skip through all of this since he's just messing around with settings and whatnot. Nothing really to pull away from that. Teleports back to town. He's walking through, talking to Momoti, getting quest rewards. Changing his equipment around with some new stuff. Ooh, what's this? Is this, this isn't the esthetician, is it? Oh, it's his adventure plate. It looks like he's saving, a portrait / adventure plate. Yeah, so that's what it is. It's his plate. Oh, it's a chat icon. Okay. And a profile avatar, I assume, as well. Assume it's a little bit of both. Can rotate very easily. The options at the bottom. Different facial expressions. You sly devil, you. And then that's what it's going to use for their chat icon, is within the circle. But it looks like he can also set his plate. And then there's different frames, but for now he just has the one basic frame. All right, it does look like he does. He was on a menu option that would have allowed modifying his adventure portrait, his plate, but that's just for chat. The little like circle is just going to be used for his chat icon with his character face. He named his chocobo chat, so you get your chocobo relatively quick here. I did see that. I think it's at level 5. Level 5 MSQ is when the chocobo becomes available. So now he has that set as his mount. Oh, what are those options? Hold on. These options are recently. Oh, okay. It's the way the mounts are displayed. Random, all mounts, or recently summoned. So it's his favorite options, basically. Like his mount favorite options. Sorting options. Whatever. All right. Go back out. He's just running around town a little bit here. Accepting a side quest. Looks like he's going to unlock... Oh, he's doing his class quests at the moment. Attuning to the Ethernets. Nothing too fancy. Doing thaumaturge stuff. Come on. Goes out. Hunting log. That's true. You do unlock your hunting log with that. This is the very formal hunting log. This is like the, the one that we're used to. Got to get rid of all the markers, and they're very obnoxious, so you definitely will want to do that. Yep, and then just ride around on your chocobo. Your chocobo nice and early. Yep, there's the dismount. I know you don't have to go to that menu every time. Isn't there supposed to be an option on the left-hand side of the screen somewhere? When you're not on your chocobo, to get on your chocobo? Could have swore I remember seeing that. Yep, teleport. He's just running around, doing the quests. He had to do the basic hunting log. For that. That was the level 1, like, thaumaturge quest where it asks you to go kill 3 of, like, whatever monsters. And then you get the level 5 one, and then your hunting log is after that. Or is around that time. That's just from running to the quest. I want to see if he does any sort of like tracking or anything with this either. No, he's just manually running, doing the quest, killing the birds. Keeps going. I know you don't have to go into that menu every single time. I could have swore that there was just a button on the left side of the screen. But I also don't see that. It might be underneath this thing. I thought it was higher up on the screen, but it might be lower than I think it is. Right above his chat. It's hard to see because he's blocking it. If it's there at all. Yep, and there's the chocobo porting. Very relaxing to use the chocobo porter to go over there. I would have keybound that stuff immediately. Would have been driving me crazy. He unlocked Addle. Don't worry, he'll get there. Yeah, he's only keybound the movement, basically, at this point. Alright. I don't know how much more we can really gather from most of this. And then those are, looks like Chocobo Porter points that you can go to specifically. You have to unlock them, it looks like, first. Like the ones that are lit up are ones that he's actually, you know, unlocked. Probably just needs to unveil those areas. But it's a lot of just individual, like, fast travel points for the Chocobos, basically. And then what did he do here? Yeah, MSQ. So that's going to be pretty popular. Yep. And at this point, he's just going through the quests. There's not much else to say here. Unless something new, quality of life-wise, pops up. There's so many more. That was a thought. But that's... Oh, was that pop-up a reminder to do his Thaumaturge quest? I think it was saying... Well, that finished, but then something else. Wait, what was that pop-up? Oh, that was specifically saying Thaumaturge. It was MSQ. It was quest complete Thaumaturge level 9 is what it was. Yeah, just schmoovin' through these early levels. Very much schmoovin'. Yep, and they can take that. Well, this will be interesting because now we can see... Oh, yeah, there is. There's just a porter right there. There's just like a bunch of individual porter locations for you to unveil now that we can see the NPC. And then that's a solo duty. It's got the recommended level, or it's got the max level, I should say. Yeah, we already went through all these, the tombstones and everything. At this point, I think that's good enough for one video release. I think separately, I'll take a look at him doing the dungeons and release that as its own video as well. But my overall impression is, I'm very impressed. It's very well done. It's very well put together. In some ways, almost too well put together as a 14 player. And I think it's the publicity coming from this, the Chinese beta is going to make the wait for the other betas a lot more impatient. Honestly, if I had to make a prediction, I wouldn't predict our beta till like April or May. Because we have to imagine it's going to go China, then Japan, then probably North America, maybe Europe at the same time. Europe might have to wait longer for theirs. I assume it's effectively just going to be like a turning of the globe and going around from like, you know, going in that direction. Just flying across the Pacific and then going across and flying across the Atlantic. So I would assume Japan would probably be late January into early February, and maybe we would get ours at like early April. I hope it's somewhere in April, right there. It depends. I don't really know how long this one is running, but I have to imagine that region by region is going to take a little while to roll out. The real question is when we'll see the Chinese version actually release, because it's going to release first, like full release first also. And then the rest of the world will come at a later point after that. It's going to be very interesting seeing what the release schedule ends up looking like for all this stuff. But yeah, no, it's good. It's going to be funny when almost no one's playing it on their phone and everyone's playing it on their PC emulators. And the irony is going to be just immensely staggering. But it's looking good. So that's going to be a wrap with us taking a look at the early game of 14 Mobile, checking out a lot of the quality of life, the menus. We've got a much better idea of what we're looking at right now. And I'll be sure to continue producing videos and content on the bit. We still got a few more things to pull out of this live stream that we're watching right here. But this will be the end of this video. So on the Twitch stream, I will go back to paying attention to you for a little while. And on the YouTube side for the video, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.